the Fox intro. Dun, 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 All right, we are live.
Cool. Let me pull up the chat. Let me talk to the boys.
Pull up the chat. All right, we are live on Fireside Giants and big game today. Waiting for a few more heads to join the screen. Just going to drop the link on Twitter.
Yeah, this is a huge game today. All I want in life is for the Giants to beat the Eagles today.
Yeah, I mean, it would make tomorrow a lot better, wouldn't it?
It would make everything a lot better, man. just have the Giants beat the Eagles for the first time since 2016.
AJ, Dante Pettis inactive. Any reason why? Probably just because they're anticipating Golden Tate to be active, and they're going to have Austin Mack also active. What's good, Zach? I'm always happy to see you in the chats. Like Anthony said, big game today, huge game today,
yes,
playoff implication game today. Essentially, this is a playoff implication game because if they lose this game, they're done in the NFC East. You know, they can't lose to the Eagles twice, and they can't lose to Dallas. I mean, they beat Washington, but the Eagles, they could easily run away with this. With they have Alshon Jeffrey coming back, they have Miles Sanders coming back, they have Jalen Reagor back. That offense is not going to be anything close to what we played a couple weeks ago when they had nobody. They had Travis Fulgham and they had Deshaun Jackson for like a quarter. So we're looking at a team that's going to be revitalized. But I'd say our offense is going to be a little bit better this week, and I don't know why. I just feel it.
Well, hopefully the play calling is good this week. Jason Garrett's been better. So hopefully he continues that. This damn thing never wants to stay where it's supposed to be.
I know. Now, my favorite intro to any football game. And when I was a kid, this was my phone intro. Like when ringtones like just came out, I was like 10 years old, and it literally my phone would ring and it would be like da 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 da, and everyone was like, "Yo, that shit is the best ringtone ever." And I'm like, that's how it is. We paid $5 for it.
$5
allowance. Yeah, you had to pay for ringtones back in the day. I don't know if any of you guys
$5 though
remember this. Yeah, you had to pay for
expensive
ringtone. Yeah, but it was totally worth it. I was the coolest guy in school with that ringtone.
True. That's pretty.
I had to go through the dark links to find that one, but I'm ready to smoke that Eagles pack too. They are going to be a tough one for us today. I'm not going to lie. This is going to be probably one of the. It's going to be a good game though. That's the one thing I will say. This is going to be. Even if the Giants lose, I feel like this is going to be a hard-fought game. They know what this means. They know what this game means for them in the NFC East. If they lose this game, they're pretty much done. But if they win, they're right in the thick of it. They pretty much take that first place, or at least tied for it with the Eagles. It's going to be pretty crazy to see, how both teams come out. The Giants. Okay, so here's the thing with me. I think the Giants should give the ball first, right? I think they should. Defer if they have the option. Get the ball in the second half because you're relying on your defense so much this year. You can't let your offense get the ball first and just turn the ball over or 3 and out, or just go on a dud drive. I say you get the ball, you give the ball away, get it in the second half. Hopefully you can close out the half with some points and then have that just double up. That's what I would be hoping for.
Yeah, I do like deferring. But I don't know. It's also important that we get off to a hot start against this team. If we can get the ball rolling early, get the offense in a groove, get Jason Garrett in a groove and play calling so that he's not conservative in the second half, make him aggressive. I don't know. I think a big matchup, though, is Jalen Reagor. You mentioned him. I think that's definitely a big matchup because, him versus James Bradbury will lock him up just fine, I'm sure. But number 2 cornerback position is going to be huge for us. I think Yadam is starting because he's healthy, right? I think it's going to be Yadam out there. Yadam,
Michael Kuzan.
Yadam was really bad last week. Let up a perfect passer rating, so that's not sustainable. He can't do that again. If he does that again, there's no way we win. But
no way. Also, because Yadam has a calf injury, right? He picked it up midweek. The Giants secondary, especially that CB2 position, just dropping like flies with Ryan Lewis also being put on IR a couple of weeks ago. So, let's say Yadam is being absolutely torched. They are like, what the hell do we do now? Our bad cornerback is now out. And the fact that he actually is starting tells you everything you need to know. They don't have much talent behind him. And they just released Corey Ballentine. So they're probably like, shit, we just released Corey Ballentine. And now all of a sudden, you have Isaac Yadam hitting the injury report, and you don't know what to do. They have Montre Hardage. They have Julian Love. They have Logan Ryan. If for whatever reason Yadam is not able to go, or he's knocked out early, do you Anthony? Do you think that they put Logan Ryan at CB2, or do you think maybe they actually bring back Julian Love and put him at CB2, and then put Logan Ryan in the free safety position?
I don't think they plan on moving Logan Ryan out of the safety position. Like he recently said, what did he say? He thinks he can be the best safety in the league. He's still learning the ropes at safety, and he's just trying to get better and better there. I'd be happy with him at CB2. I think that he'd be an upgrade over anything that we have there, but it looks like he's trying to get comfortable in that safety role. And it looks like everybody wants him. Everybody on the Giants coaching staff wants him in that safety role. So I think he's going to stay there.
No, that's totally reasonable. And talking about Jay Hernandez is back, isn't he? Hernandez is active this week. He is able to play this week. He will be, and this is what the Giants said during the week, is that they want to take a rotational approach toward the offensive line, pretty much every position but center. So I expect to see left tackle. I expect to see Andrew Thomas predominantly, but a little bit of mix in and of Matt Parrott. Left guard, I expect to see Shane Lemieux and Will Hernandez rotating. Center, stay the same. Nick Gates. They don't really have anyone else there. He's doing well. Right guard, I've heard that they want to take Kevin Zeitler and kind of give some reps to Lemieux and Will Hernandez, see how they can compete at right guard, because that's a big question mark, right? The cap is going to be going down this next offseason as much as $20 million. So the Giants aren't going to have that much room to play with in free agency. They have to unload as many big contracts as they can to get ready for the 2022 free agency period, which is where they're really going to make this big splash when the cap goes soaring up after COVID-19 is taken care of and everything. So the idea here is that they want to shed as much dead weight as possible. I like Kevin Zeitler. I don't think getting rid of him is the best idea, especially if you have 3 rookies on the line and Nick Gates, who's barely making any money. You pay Kevin Zeitler, your best offensive lineman. Just pay him. It's not that big of a deal at that point. However, he's going to have a $14.5 million cap hit next season. So I get why they would want to move on from him. And, what they will do here is it will take Will Hernandez, Shane Lemieux, put him at right guard, see how they do, see how they perform. And then if they perform well enough that they can say, okay, let's get rid of Zeitler and drop that dead cap money and save it toward, the future offseason next year, that I get why they're doing it, right? They want to see what they have in Lemieux and Hernandez at right guard. But Anthony, do you think that either of them will show enough to prove to the coaching staff that they are actually, capable of playing as good as Kevin Zeitler? Because that's really what they're looking for.
Not as good as Kevin Zeitler. I think Shane Lemieux is too young to be that good. I don't think he's fully realized his potential yet. And I don't think Hernandez is ever going to be that good. I'm pretty sure Lemieux is starting today, though. I want to say that for everybody watching. I'm pretty sure Lemieux is starting, and then Hernandez is going to come in. They're going to ease him into the lineup. Lemieux has the rest of the season really to just prove to the coaching staff that he deserves to still be on, part of their future plans. That's really what he has to do. I don't think he can prove that he's as good as Zeitler. I mean, Zeitler's one of the best guards in the NFL, He's actually really good. So I think that would be tough, but I do think it's like a prove it year for Will Hernandez. It's now or never, because we've been waiting for him to reach his potential and fully realize it, and it just hasn't happened. So, we just need to see him really step up his game between now and the end of the season. I would definitely like to see him switch over to right guard, see if he performs any better there. Just work him around, play him on both sides of the ball, see what we really have in Will Hernandez, because we thought we had a lot, and it doesn't seem like we have that much anymore. So we really need answers by the end of the season.
Right. And, when it comes to Will Hernandez, there's some pretty basic things to know. One thing is he's not that good in pass protection, right? The NFL is a passing league. And Anthony says this all the time. You don't have a good pass blocking guard, you're going to be in trouble. So right off the bat, you have Will Hernandez not being that great at pass blocking. He's predominantly a run blocking guard. The problem with that is he's a power guard. He's not the best at trapping. He's not the fastest guy at getting over to the other side of the line and setting the block. Shane Lemieux actually showed a lot more promise in those trap blocks when he kind of shifts over to the right side, he swings over, and really helps Kevin Zeitler clear that path. That's really what he's doing. And he's doing it better than Hernandez, which is why we're seeing the run game so much better than we have. And then you have Matt Parrott at right tackle, right? Matt Parrott has been an absolute tank in the run game. Longest arms in the NFL Combine. The guy has performed way above expectations. Anthony called this one months ago before the draft that he was going to be a starting
expectations, man.
Yeah, Anthony, if you guys didn't know this, Anthony had nailed Matt Parrott. He was like, I told him that they drafted him, and he was like, no freaking way. And then look at him 10 weeks later in the NFL season, and suddenly he's a starting tackle in the NFL with a lot of promise, and he's showing it at left and right tackle. Right, it's not just on the right side; he's showing it on Daniel Jones's blind side, which is exactly what we needed because. Think about Ereck Flowers for a second. Ereck Flowers sucked at left tackle. We know he was the human turnstile, but you look at him and you say, why didn't they try him at any other position? They moved him over to right tackle after like 3 years of being shite at left tackle. So now you're looking at Parrott right now, and you're saying he can play left tackle and right tackle right off the bat, and they're giving him reps at both. And that's what you call development. That's what you call good coaching. Because now you have a guy who, let's say Andrew Thomas takes a step back. Let's say he gets injured. You have a guy who can play left tackle at a good level, at an average to above average level right away. I'm not saying Matt Parrott's above average right now, but I think he's trending in that direction. So we'll see how this goes. But the offensive line, in my opinion, is developing better than any unit on this team right now. And it's something that we've been waiting 3 to 4 years for. Now, my question for you, Anthony, and I'm sure a lot of people ask the same question. Do you give Dave Gettleman the credit for this?
Yeah, I mean, you got to give him credit for finding some guys. I definitely give him credit for drafting Matt Parrott, and I think that was an excellent pick. I was a huge fan of that pick, and I give Gettleman credit for that. And I give him credit for drafting Andrew Thomas. I do think Andrew Thomas is going to be a solid tackle. I know he struggled in the beginning part of the season. And I give him credit for finding Shane Lemieux. I think Shane Lemieux was a pretty good pick too. He hasn't really fully developed into a starter yet, but he's looked pretty solid, and I think he will be a solid starter. So I do give Gettleman credit. I just also give Gettleman a lot of flack for the other mistakes that he's made, like the Solder contract. The Jonathan Stewart contract is a really big one that comes to mind, and there's plenty of other poor moves. Golden Tate's a good one to bring up. I'm still not the biggest fan of the Odell trade. I think that this team, you look at the way that it's constructed. If Odell Beckham Jr. was in this lineup with Daniel Jones, I think this is a very different team with a very good offense. Personally, that's just how I feel.
The defense might not be the same with Dexter Lawrence.
But that's really it. I know, but okay, yeah, true. But like Dexter Lawrence, and then they could have re-signed Landon Collins, who kind of would have been similar to Jabril Peppers, played a similar role. I don't know. I think that trade is kind of iffy. It's 50-50. I don't know who won. I think no one really won that trade. I'm kind of content with it at this point, but I just haven't been a fan of a lot of moves that Gettleman's made. And I think his positional value, he doesn't really have it. He doesn't understand positional value. He prioritizes running backs and the running game, and running backs don't matter.
Get started with the running backs. Running backs don't matter.
Do running backs matter? Everybody in the chat, do running backs matter?
Well, I'll give you one reason why they don't. Everyone's super hyped about Wayne Gallman right now, and he's been on our team for 4 seasons, and everyone's saying now, why isn't he getting more reps? He would be a starter on the 49ers. He'd be a starter on some other teams, and he runs hard, and he doesn't get the attention that he deserves. And most people would say, the level, what he shows is that he could be a starting running back in the NFL, or at least a complimentary back.
That's the thing right there, is the attention, right? You mentioned the attention that we're giving them. It's the attention that the defense gives a Wayne Gallman versus the attention that they give a Saquon Barkley. They always know that Saquon is getting the ball because we don't have a good receiver. So they don't have anybody else to lock in on. They're not locking in on Evan drops Engram, So they're locking in on Barkley. So there's your whole offense is running through Barkley because he's your best player. But all they have to do is just wait for him in the backfield, So that's just the problem. I mean,
yeah, they stack the box.
Once they get a better receiver, though, once the Giants get a better receiver, it'll open up the run game for Barkley. Like, that's why I know a lot of fans don't really want the Giants to go wide receiver early in the draft, but I think, like, it would be really big for this offense if they did have, like, a superstar receiver, take that weight off Barkley open things up in both the passing and the running game. That's what it would do, in my opinion.
Yeah, but okay, so here's my opinion on this. Saquon is used or was used so poorly last year, even though he was injured. And this year, and even in game 1 and 2, I just don't think the entire offense was installed yet, so we didn't really see them get creative enough. But the way I would like to see Barkley is like a mixture of Dalvin Cook and Alvin Kamara, right? He should be getting more than an average of 4 receptions per game. He should be getting 8 to 10 targets per game, in my opinion, in the receiving game. If you start to activate Saquon the way he's supposed to be activated, utilizing him in open space, you use him the same way you use tight end Evan Ingram, right? If you get the ball in space in his hands, he can make things happen. The problem is they run the freaking ball up the middle with Saquon Barkley over and over and over again. He's not a power runner. He hesitates when he's trying to pick a hole. He's not good in those scenarios. You have to get him outside. You have to get him in the play action and getting open as a receiver. We saw that touchdown against Chicago. Was it last year against Chicago that he had that seam route right up the gut that he hit for a touchdown 26 yards down the field. That's the type of stuff that you see from Alvin Kamara.
It was against Washington.
That's the type of stuff. It was against Washington. So that's the type of stuff you see against. You see other teams with receiving running backs. That's how they use them. But the thing is, Barkley needs a scheme developed around him, and he doesn't need to be fit into a power zone running scheme like Jason Garrett does, or the outside zone. And Shermer just ran him up the gut like over and over and over and over again. And I think that there's so much talent there that's not being tapped into. Like it's almost malpractice. You have to find a way to extract that talent, especially if you're going to pay him that much. The reality is that if you had Saquon Barkley and Alvin Kamara standing right next to each other, both free agents, who would you spend the money on at this point?
Alvin Kamara.
Equal amount. Let's say both players are going to make $20 million per season. Which one are you spending it on?
Neither. 20 million.
You get what I'm saying. Let's say it's 10 million. So you easier mind on the money part.
It's still tough, but you're saying Kamara, Barkley? I mean, Kamara is just proven himself. He's proven himself more. It's Kamara.
Right, but I think that's more.
Kamara is healthy though. Kamara is healthy.
Yes, but aside from that, I'm saying just as pure players right now, based on their production.
I get that, but as pure players though, Barkley has missed a lot of time in the past 2 years.
A lot of time.
He had the ankle injury, and now he missed all of this year. So I'm playing that. That's a factor. Kamara is.
That's fair.
He's been better. He's just been better. He's been healthier. That's who.
But I think it's the way they use him too, though. I think it's the way that they use Kamara that keeps him a little bit away from injury.
Jason Garrett. That's a big difference.
Or Pat Shermer.
Payton. Oh yeah, and Pat Shermer. I mean, it's a big difference. Sean Payton's been a great offensive coach and a great head coach for over a decade. So it's him versus these two bums that we had calling the plays.
It really is like Mike Shula's only contribution last year was end arounds to Sterling Shepard. That was it. All he did. He got paid like $2 million. I don't even know if he did
that much. What did Mike Shula really provide this team with, man? No idea.
He was like motivational support for Pat Shermer. He was like, "You can do this, Pat. You can run this offense well." And obviously we saw that didn't happen. And then they fired Mike Shula, and you're like, what the hell was this guy's job even? Like, clearly their offense wasn't capable of putting together successful drives on a weekly basis. So like if Pat Shermer is calling plays, Mike Shula is literally just hanging out, enjoying the view from the sidelines. But now you have a unit I actually think is growing though. We were pretty harsh on Jason Garrett, rightfully so, because his scheme was terrible the first 6 weeks of the season, I'd say. But the last couple of weeks, I've been impressed. I've been relatively impressed with how much he's incorporated, the creativity he's gone involved. The problem is Evan Ingram just can't freaking catch the ball. And when on those important third downs, on those drops, those almost interceptions, like we saw the past 2 weeks, that can't happen anymore. If you want to be a successful offense, you can't have one of your best playmakers dropping the ball. Because think about OBJ against the Green Bay Packers a couple of years ago in 2016 in the playoffs.
I don't want to think about that though.
I know, but he dropped 2 touchdown passes, and that's what happens, man. You lose games because of that. You lose games because your playmakers can't make a play, can't catch, can't this, can't that. And Evan Ingram just can't do it in a consistent rate. And I don't really know what the identity of this offense is yet. Obviously, Saquon Barkley coming back next year will be a big indication. Maybe they'll go out and sign Allen Robinson. Also, on that same wide receiver front, I'm not the biggest fan of investing in Kenny Golladay. He's already missed 4 games this year. He's a great big wide receiver, but I don't think he's a wide receiver 1. I love Kenny Galladay too, but I don't think he's a wide receiver one. I think he's a fringe wide receiver one.
He's a wide receiver one, dude.
I don't think so.
Totally. He's totally a wide receiver one in my eyes. Did you know the Eagles are benching J.J. Arcega-Whiteside today?
I didn't even
found out about that. Yeah, they benched him, and they're starting Alshon Jeffrey, even though he's like literally crippled.
What's wrong with him? He's always crippled, isn't he?
I don't know. He's just been hurt all year. He hasn't played in weeks, dude. I don't remember what his injury is. I got to look that up.
I don't even know. They said they're going to keep him.
Arcega-Whiteside was a second-round pick last year.
He just is so slow. That's the problem.
Arcega-Whiteside?
Yeah. He's so slow.
Yeah.
He's
a 50-50 trash like everybody else on the Eagles.
He's like Hakeem Butler.
Right. How many Hakeem Butlers does this team need? That's why, dude, Doug Peterson is such a fraud. He's literally the most overrated coach in the league. It's not even close. Like,
he had that
everyone thinks he's some genius offensive mind, like this very analytical guy, an analytical, progressive thinking mind. And then he gets guys like Arcega-Whiteside and Hakeem Butler who are 50-50 balls. And like, if you're actually into like football analytics, you don't go after those guys. You stay away from them. You go after the guys who separate and can run routes. Like, he's such a fraud. I hate him. And I hate everything about this Eagles team. And I just desperately need the Giants to win today.
Well, yeah, I mean, talking about winning, the last time they beat the Eagles was 2016, November 6th. I memorized that date because it was the last time I was happy. November 6th, 2016. And cool, Germany, Jacob, greetings from Germany. I have family there. Super cool place. Been there a couple times. Great beer. Fantastic beer.
I've never been to
probably the best I've ever had. I recommend it. They have their
better
beer
than
there.
Busch Light. I'm kidding.
I saw the just the depression come from your voice there after saying Busch Light. You just look down. You just look down. Hey, like, man. Did I just say that? Did I really just say that? Is that the best they got down there? What are they? You Floridians.
I hate Busch Light. It's not. It's not about being.
Are they paying you to drink that?
It's about being in a fraternity, and we need to get beer for like 40 people. So we got to get the cheapest, shittiest beer. So it's Busch Light, and it's so bad.
Oh, it's terrible. And Jen, you know all about Germany. Big fan of Vitus. Big fan of Weihenstephaner. Hefeweizen is my favorite style of beer. Where did I travel to in Germany? I was in Berlin, Frankfurt. Where else did I go? Kreuzberg. I went to Weimar. I kind of drove around all of Germany. I went from Germany, drove all the way to Italy. Crazy. If you're a soccer fan, really, really cool. Drove through Munich, saw the Allianz. Awesome stuff there. But you know, football's football. I was watching games in my hotel room at 3 a.m. because of the time difference. I'm sure you guys all know what that's like. Simon, what's up, man? Pleasure to have you on the chat today. We're getting ready for this Giants versus Eagles game, and I'm freaking hyped, man. I'm excited. I feel good, but a little bit worried about this game just because, like, the fact that we got rocked by Boston Scott last week really demoralized, or 2 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, really demoralized me. Like, if Boston Scott's gonna do that to us, Miles Sanders is gonna do some better things. That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just afraid of this game in general because it's gonna take a really bad toll on my mental health if we lose. Like, I desperately need this win. I've said that a couple of times now. Like, we really need to win this game, like, so badly.
So bad.
People don't understand, like, when I say I hate the Eagles, they don't realize that there's nothing on this earth. Like, out of anything on this earth, there's nothing I hate more than the Eagles and their fans. Like, it is a burning, deep-seated, passionate hatred that I have for this football team. And I absolutely need the Giants to end this losing streak against them so my life can look happy again.
Last time the Giants beat the Eagles in Philly was 2013.
Dude, we just can't win in Philly anymore, man. It's so sad. We get so close every time. I hate those
fans, man. Eli Manning couldn't even bring his family there because they would flip his kids off and his wife. 10-year-old kids,
man. God, Philadelphia is a terrible place, and I never want to go back there.
It's cool if you're going to parties and stuff. I've been to some cool concerts in Philly, but the people there, don't trust them, man. Don't trust them at all. An airborne cheeseburger. MetLife sucks. The stadium itself sucks. The people are great, MetLife Stadium is absolute garbage. And not only is it freezing cold, but it's so bad. It's multi-purpose. It's terrible, dude. It's terrible.
I don't hate MetLife like that. I've been to other stadiums. I don't think MetLife is that bad. I think it's kind of bad, but I don't think it's that bad. But I still think that being there at a game in MetLife is fun, with all the Giants fans. It's a good atmosphere.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the stadium itself sucks because there's no, it's so wide and spread out. It's not condensed. Like if you go to AT&T,
it's kind of quiet Dallas, in that stadium.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you go to AT&T and it's domed and they have all the stadiums, basically the field is below ground level. So it's everyone's looking down into the stadium, and the vocal aspect of it is just intense. All the sounds going down into the stadium. And MetLife, you could be all the way in the third tier, and you can't even hear what's going on. You have telescope to freaking see these guys on the field.
But my thing about MetLife though is that outside of the actual field and the noise, the other stuff, before you actually go to your seats, all of that is really cool. They got a lot of cool Giant stuff to go look at, that. They got what is the name of they got the trophy room with all the memorabilia and stuff in it, the historic stuff. Right. You can go in there before the games. That stuff is really cool. They got some cool stuff at MetLife. I like MetLife, man. I like it just because I'm a biased Giants fan, but I also don't really like MetLife because I feel like they could have done a lot better with it. So I don't know.
Well, it's a multi-purpose stadium. I've been to many different things at
every stadium's multi-purpose. I've been to Sun Life. Sun Life is multi-purpose.
Yeah, but the thing is they laid it out for as a concert.
Hard Rock.
Yeah, but it's a soccer field. I've been to soccer games there. I've been to concerts there, football games there, and for whatever reason, there are better stadiums
in Miami. They do the
really?
Same thing. I don't know. That one was just better made, man. But they also renovated the.
It's also the weather. The weather at MetLife. It's windy as hell at MetLife, and it's cold.
It's gonna be windy today. Today it's supposed to be pretty windy.
Yeah, SoFi Stadium looks freaking sick, especially in the one in Vegas too.
I want to go to the one in Atlanta, man. I want to go to that one. That one looks pretty snazzy. Falcon Stadium.
That's true. There's some really sick stadiums. They built some fucking sorry for my language. They built some freaking crazy stadiums these past couple of years. The new teams that are moving around. The Chargers, the SoFi Stadium is ridiculous. Also, okay, this is actually super cool. I don't know if you guys knew this. Tottenham, their soccer team, they built a new stadium, and all I know about this stadium is that not only is it technologically advanced to the max, but when they fill beers there, they put the beer down on this on this thing, a spout, and it actually fills it up through the bottom of the cup. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I don't know. I don't even know how.
You absolutely love beer. You are such a beer guy.
I love beer. I'm a huge beer guy. My dad's cool. Super into craft beer.
Not into White Claws like our other friends on Twitter.
I mean, I like White Claws. I like a lot of different things. I'm not like a snoot when it comes to beer. I like a lot of different types.
I know. I was just kidding with you, man.
Yeah, don't get under my skin like that, bro. Don't attack my passion for beverages, just like you do your glizzies.
I'm not that passionate about glizzies. I don't know why that became a thing. Just that one live stream, I had a glizzy, and that was it.
Now you're glizzy man.
I'm the Glizzy Gladiator, remember?
You're the Glizz Anthony.
The Glizzy Gladiator.
Glizz Anthony.
That sounds like...
And beer gang.
Sounds like
all these guys in Europe know what it's like. They know what the whole thing. It's like a culture, man, beer in other countries.
Never been to Europe, man. I've only been to Mexico. That's the only time I left the country. I went to Cabo. That was pretty cool. Went with some family friends who rented a villa. They were very, very nice. They treated my family very well. Very cool.
I'm sure they did. Yes. Is it okay? I'm gonna say Jakob or Jacob. Probably Jakob. I'm not entirely sure. But if they come, if the Giants go to London next year, I'm going to London to watch the game. That's a fact. So Anthony, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna take you out of this country for good.
Me? I'm gonna go to London.
You're gonna go to London. We're gonna go to the Giants.
I don't like
game,
flying and we're like that, bro.
It's only 6 hours. You just sleep.
For you, it's 10 for me. I'm in Florida.
I guess you have to go up. Well, no, it's 2 hours. It took 2 hours to get here from Florida, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 2 plus London, though. 7, I guess it's 9
so
hours.
I'd meet you up there then? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. This is such a hypothetical, though. I'll do it for you, though, Alex. I'll do it for you.
Yeah, don't do it for me. Do it for the fact you get to go to a Giants game in London. That's freaking
That's true.
sick.
That is pretty cool.
You got to get over your fear of flying.
That doesn't sound
I know
cheap,
you don't like
though.
flying.
That sounds like
no, of course not. But it's an experience. we'll make a plan. We'll need your help.
We'll figure it out.
But look, first of all, we got to be a good team because I'm not going to see a shitty team play in London. Okay, that's a fact. I'm not going to see a crappy team play in London. I'm not going that far.
Well, you said you were going to London next year, man.
Yeah, like shout out to LPG for going to all these games,
including the London ones.
Despite the team sucking, like he does not care.
He's gone to some games this year too. He went to the Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's gone. He went to the Washington last year. He tried to go to the game today. I think he's just knocking on the door trying to get in. I don't think it's gonna work. They're like, nah.
He tries every week. He's like, please let me in. I'm basically the team's mascot. He literally.
It's like you remember Fireman Ed for the Jets.
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys remember Fireman Ed? He like actually retired. They were so bad.
Yeah.
They were so bad. He like. Oh, for sure. But they sucked so bad. He was just like, I can't do it anymore. Like he just stopped. And then he came back. I've been to a couple games where he did that stuff.
Really quickly.
JETS sucks.
Off topic. Do you watch golf?
No.
The golf at all? Tiger Woods shot 7 over on a par 3. And I'm just like, that's so relatable.
Is that bad or good? Bad.
7 over, like to 7 bogey, to be 7 really shots over par. Like you're supposed to do it in 3. It took him 10. It was supposed to take him 3.
He's losing.
Like that's just nuts. Yeah, he's out of the Masters now. Like
I saw a couple really cool shots.
He was doing pretty good early
across
on.
The water. Do you watch the one
that was from a couple years ago? Yeah, that was on a practice.
That was it was years ago. I thought that was a couple days ago.
A year or two ago. It was like no, they just reposted it. I saw that last year.
I'm sure. Sons of guns. All right. Well, not the biggest golf fan. I'm more about my football. If you feel me. And
definitely more about my football, but. It's crazy that we have, because of COVID, they had to reschedule the Masters. So it's right now during football season, which it usually isn't. So we have the biggest golf tournament of the year while also like the football season starting to heat up. So it's kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you know what? Football right now. Yeah. Goddamn COVID. I'm so over this, guys. So over COVID. I don't even know like what to do anymore. I kind of just want to be like, screw it. I'm going to live in my life now. They won't let me though.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger, I feel you. Golf is boring as hell. How do you sit down and watch it? Like seriously.
Golf is. I'm a big Rory McIlroy fan. Watch him. He's not boring. He's fun to watch. He hits.
I feel like you have to play
he hits
golf
a ball
to
like 350 yards. Like that's insane.
Yeah, but Daniel Jones throws interceptions that are 350 yards. You don't enjoy that as much, do you?
No, I don't enjoy Daniel Jones interceptions.
But here's a debate for you.
Over under 2 turnovers today for Daniel Jones. Over under 2. I'm going under. I think he only turns it over once. He's definitely turning it over against the Eagles, though. I feel like that's
it's gonna be twice. It's gonna be twice.
Twice? You're gonna go even? Okay, everybody in the chat, over under 2 turnovers for Daniel Jones. Now over under
Philly's
2
gonna
for
turn over.
Carson Wentz. I'm going over. I think he's gonna get 3. I think he's gonna fumble once and throw 2 picks.
Well, here's my big dilemma, right? Here's the big question for me. The Giants turned the ball over, or rather, they forced 5 turnovers last week, and they only won by 3 points. That's a problem. You can't force 5 turnovers and only win by 3 points. They didn't even turn the ball over once, right? That's a little bit. Do you think that's a problem? Do you think that's might be something to be concerned about?
Yes, it was very concerning that they had 5 turnovers and they barely won that game. That should have been a blowout. Like they really should have been. But that's why I was upset with Jason Garrett. I thought the play calling was very conservative.
In the second half, I think.
Yeah. I think he was like very comfortable with the lead that they had and the fact that the defense was getting so many turnovers. So he played very conservative.
Yeah, I mean, that's reasonable. But at the same time, I think today, this comes down to turnovers. Like whoever wins the turnover battle is going to win this game.
Likely.
However, the Giants need to get pressure. None of these 3-man rushes on third downs anymore. Please. Please.
Whatever Patrick Graham wants to do, I am all for.
Yeah. I mean, I expect to see a lot of creativity. Creativity, man. Linebacker blitzes, cornerback blitzes. I'm expecting to see Leonard Williams.
He does that a lot.
I think Leonard Williams is going to have a good game.
Probably. I want to talk about Carson Wentz real quick. I think he's the most overrated player in the NFL. What do you think?
I would say right now, yes. I would say when he's
playing so
well,
garbage.
He's good.
I don't think he's that good.
Well, he's good.
I don't think so. I don't think he's that good.
But at the same time, like he doesn't have an offensive line right now. and he had no weapons. Kind of similar to Daniel Jones.
Right, but if he's such an MVP caliber quarterback, he should be able to
I
rise
didn't say
above
that.
And
I didn't say that.
Yeah, but that's why he's an overrated POS, man. Look at, I don't know. There's so many really good like MVP level quarterbacks that can rise above that stuff, but
I don't think he's an MVP level quarterback Carson Wentz by any means.
Everybody makes so many goddamn excuses for Carson Wentz. He doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. But when Daniel Jones throws a pick, they're like, he's so bad, give up on him. And it's like, listen, man, Carson Wentz had that one decent year where he almost won MVP or whatever, and then he tore his knee, which is very unfortunate, right? He had that one decent year because they didn't know how to scheme around him and that new offense that they were implementing. That was it. Then they figured it out, and then it got very stale. And now he just stands in the pocket for 5 seconds and throws picks. He doesn't know how to get rid of the ball. It's like he's worse than Daniel Jones at that. He literally holds onto the ball at like an extreme amount of time. He holds on the ball for so long. He is mediocre, and he's not. And I wouldn't even call him a game manager because he's such a gunslinger and he turns the ball over so goddamn much. He's so bad. He's terrible, and I hate that the Giants keep losing to this guy. Like, we have to beat this guy.
True. Yeah. If we get any sort of pressure against him, he will make decisions for us. He will turn the ball over for us.
Exactly.
You know, he makes crazy. You remember that James Bradbury interception? Called that one, by the way. He literally just threw that. Like, it looked like he was throwing the ball away, except he threw it right to James Bradbury.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But Jones does that. He held onto the ball for like 5 seconds and then didn't have anywhere to go. So he just threw it up. And then James Bradbury is a dog. So he got the ball, you know?
All right, here's one thing we can do. I posted something on Twitter that I want to reenact. Basically, it's just Evan Ingram doing this kind of funny facial thing.
Oh, God. You want to reenact it? I don't want to.
Oh, yeah.
Do I have to?
This is it.
Do I have to,
this is the link. This is the link.
If I don't do it, am I fired?
No, but we're doing it. That's the link. Go check it out.
I'll do
That's
anything for you, Alex. Anything.
He's like, all right, let's make the Evan Ingram face. Ready? That's pretty good.
That was pretty good. I hate that was that good. How do I follow that up?
You just do it. What was that? Good? What was that little?
Didn't he do that at the end? He does that at the end.
Yeah, that was so small though. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm not fluent in Evan Ingram facial expressions.
Is that the face you make when you drink a Busch Light? Right before you're about to drink a Busch Light.
Stop mentioning the Busch Lights. The Giants win this game. I'm shotgunning a Busch Light on the next live stream.
Oh God!
I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm not doing that.
You can do it. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll do it. Screw it. I'll do it if they win. Only if they win.
That facial expression, by the way, happened right after one of Evan Ingram's vintage third down drops.
Yeah, well,
vintage third down drops.
It's definitely vintage.
And you want to know why? Want to know why he dropped it? Because he freaking jumped when no one was around him. What the hell is that about? And Big Nuts, we'll be doing that. We'll create a video about the cap space situation for next year. That's a good idea.
Yes, Big Nuts. What kind of name is that?
You gotta make us say that. It's the only way that we can refer to you as, and like.
Big Nuts, we will do whatever video you want. That's funny.
I don't know about that. Chill. In all seriousness, now the cap space next year is going to be a shit show. It's going to be a disaster. They're going to be losing 20 million. They're going to be losing 20 million right off the bat because of COVID. So it's going to lower.
I think it would have been better if Nate Solder didn't opt out, because he would have been. They would have totally cut him. But
what's up, Scotty?
You know, now we have that Solder contract for an extra year. That makes everything really tough.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're going to cut. So here's something about Nate Solder you guys will probably find interesting. If they cut Nate Solder before June 1st of next year, they will have to eat 10.5 million in dead cap, right? If they cut him after June 1st, he will only be 6.5 million worth of dead cap space. So they'll save 4 million by cutting him post June 1st. And that's money they're going to need, right? That 4 million right there is money they're going to need. And actually his cap hits way higher than that. What is it? 16 million next year? Do you remember?
Solder's cap hit? I thought it was higher than that. I thought it was like close to 20
million. It might be like
million.
20 or something.
I think it's close to 20.
Look it up. I'll look it up.
Oh, cool. My professor is late in posting the assignments and delaying the due date. Hell yeah.
That's fantastic.
That is
So
fantastic.
his cap
I'm
hit.
so happy.
No, I'm right. His cap hit 16.4 million next year, which means they would save about 10 million, right? Saving $10 million. You can do a lot with that. You can do a lot with that. You can go out and sign a wide receiver. You can go get rid of Isaac Yadum once and for all. God damn. That guy's a disaster. Why didn't Ross Cockrell want to sign with us? Do you have any explanation for that, Anthony?
Because he probably wanted to be on a good football team, and we're not that. Now he's on the Buccaneers, and he's playing with a good football team, even though they've been pretty bad the past couple of weeks. Yeah, but he plays his role, and they win.
So who needs to step up today, AJ? Daniel Jones, no turnovers. Daniel Jones. Leonard Williams. Evan Ingram. Leonard Williams needs to step up and get pressure. That'll be a big thing.
Jason Garrett needs to step up.
Jason Garrett, big time. Isaac Yadum, big. If Isaac Yadum steps up and plays well today, we will actually be decent today.
Our CB2 situation keeps Airborne Cheeseburger up at night. Me too, bro. Me too.
I thought the Baconator kept him up at night.
Alex.
Yeah, I've been missing my dad jokes.
The dad jokes. Oh my goodness, I haven't heard them in a while. I'm very disappointed.
No, that was a good one. You got a chuckle out.
No, that was terrible.
Exactly, Big Nuts. Who even is our CB2? He's a seventh round pick we gave up for a former third rounder. That's how little Denver thought of him. They accepted a seventh rounder.
Effect. Dude, is DeAndre Baker going to win that court case, man?
That situation is a mess.
And if he does win that court case, is he going to get back in the NFL? And if he gets back in the NFL, will the Giants sign him?
Annoying as hell. Look, okay. I have two things.
I don't think so. After the sleeping in the meetings, I'll say no.
Two things. The first thing is 3 of the 4 victims in this situation have taken back their affidavits, right? They've recanted their statements. Mm-hmm. That's a problem, right? That's a problem for the case in general. Now, one of them still remains, but if DeAndre Baker manages to get away with this, it will be a classic Florida freaking small town police department. It was Broward County in Florida.
Yeah, Broward County is not like Broward County is a pretty big county.
Is it?
Yes. I'm
not from Florida, so I have no idea.
I'm from Florida. This is my element, bro.
Yeah,
Broward's a pretty big area.
It seems like they're just making it bigger than it should have been if this all gets exonerated in the end. And does DeAndre Baker re-sign with the Giants? I don't think so. 1, he's going to be like, you guys gave up on me. And 2, they're going to be like, we can't go down that path again. That would look really bad for their image. I think he's a toss away at this point. You let him go figure it out elsewhere. But that goes back to Dave Gettleman. That goes back to Dave Gettleman. That was a mistake.
Called DeAndre Baker, DeAndre Burglar. That's pretty funny.
I saw that on Twitter. I was cracking up at that.
That's a good one. Maybe it was Big Nuts on Twitter that you saw.
Maybe.
You know what? I feel like I did hear that in the live stream. Slayton or Shep in fantasy today? That's tough, but I'm going to go Shep. Slayton, you can't bank on Slayton. He's so inconsistent week to week.
He's the deep threat, right? He only does well if he gets a deep ball.
He's a wide receiver 2, playing wide receiver 1. We need a wide receiver 1, and then he'll take off as a wide receiver 2, though. Like, remember when the Cowboys had Dez and Terrence Williams, and then they lost Dez, and Terrence Williams was the wide receiver 1, and he was like terrible in that situation, but he was really good as a wide receiver 2, as a deep threat, right? Like, that's exactly like Darius Slayton is Terrence Williams for us. Once we get that wide receiver 1, he's going to be really good, and our receiving core is going to look amazing. That's the way I see it. No one responded to my question about the Among Us live stream, so I guess nobody's interested in that.
I've never even played it before, so I have no thoughts.
It's a fun game. We'll play it sometime, and I think we should play with fans. That'd be cool because we used to do those Fortnite live streams. Fortnite. I'm not really into Fortnite anymore though.
I haven't played Fortnite in ages.
It's terrible. I hate it. It was fun in the summer though when we were playing with fans.
It was good.
I like playing it with fans
fun
for sure.
It just got a little bit like repetitive. Like, I mean, they update a lot of stuff. They try to make it fun.
Well, I just don't like the updates though. That's the problem. Like they add all this Marvel shit, either. And I like Marvel, but these fucking Marvel weapons that they have, terrible. Like I don't know, whatever. Enough of Fortnite.
They want to play Among Us.
We got 2 people in on Among Us, so I'm sure there's other fans that'll want to play.
We can play it. I'm down to give it a shot.
It's on your phone too. It's super easy. Download it. We'll make a Discord, throw some people in there. It'll be fun.
I'm down. You're gonna have to teach me how to play it. I'm way more of a Call of Duty guy right now. Way more. COD person. Got cop 2 wins in one night the other night.
Wow.
Tell me that's not impressive.
On what, Warzone?
Yeah. I played 4 games, got 2 wins.
I hate Warzone.
I like it. I'm a fan.
Not a fan.
I'm pretty good at it though. So
not a fan.
It's because you're garbage, really. That's why you don't like it.
That's facts though. I'm garbage. I'm so bad at that game. Dude, we got a lot of people down for Among Us. Let's go.
Do you guys all play Among Us? Because I literally have never played this game before, and
I don't know how you've never played that game. That game is so.
What is it?
Big.
Okay,
it's like.
So what is it exactly? Apex, James. I feel you on the Apex. Also a pretty.
I was never that into Apex, man.
I liked it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, torturing yourself. Yeah, Madden gets worse every year.
You're not torturing yourself. Madden is just torturing you. We could do a Warzone live stream again sometime. I don't know. I don't like Warzone, but we could do it. Yeah, we could do it. We should just be streaming more games and playing with fans. It's always fun doing that.
What is Among Us? Can you please explain?
Okay,
can you please explain
this? It's 10-person lobby. 2 people in that lobby are imposters. Everybody else is going around doing tasks, trying to fill the taskbar up. If you fill the taskbar up, you win. But the goal of the imposters is to kill everybody before the taskbar gets filled up, right? So nobody knows who's the imposter and who's the crewmates. So you have to secretly go around and kill people and try and get everybody out. But then there's like this, you can vote people out as well. When you find a dead body, you report it and you can try and say who it is or who it isn't. And you got to like defend yourself. And so it'll be fun once we have a big Discord, because we'll be like, oh, I just saw orange kill green. And then orange will have to defend himself, and I'll have to be like, no, I was over here in reactor and they were over in navigation, stuff like that. So you got to like, it's very fun. It's easy to get the hang of, but it's very cool.
It sounds like the Giants trying to get to the top of the NFC East right now.
We're the imposters. We're about to kill everybody in our path and then win the game.
Yeah, especially the Eagles.
Yes. Can we please kill the Eagles, dude? Dude, if we blew them out, I would be so happy.
Yeah. I mean, no, actually, though, a blowout today of the Eagles I'd have a really freaking good week, right? I have like one of the best weeks I've ever had just from that, Like, it's been so long. I'm actually like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of numb with depression when it comes to the Giants. Like, every time they lose, I'm just like, I get it. I know this feeling.
Some losses hit worse than others,
Airborne Cheeseburger is actually kind of right. We have already killed 2 really MC's quarterbacks. I hate to say it, but that's pretty funny. That's a pretty funny joke, Airborne.
That is. That's terrible, but it's true.
Yeah, we actually have been taking out quarterbacks.
I guess we're some pretty good imposters. Damn.
Yeah, we want the NFC East. I guess that's our method. If we can't beat them, just break their ankles. That's really what the Giants have been doing lately. It's super messed up. No NFC East quarterback's ankle is safe right now. It's a fact. Gilbert better watch his legs.
Gilbert, not Gilbert, dude. Why they bench my boy DiNucci?
I have no idea the last time the Giants blew anybody out. We were on pace to do it against the Cowboys, and then we lost.
I'm gonna try and search that.
I really can't remember. I literally did that. That's a very good question. Jalen Hurts season, God. He actually probably really been better than once.
I think under Shermer, we definitely blew somebody out at some point, right?
One team.
We blew out the Bears in the preseason last year.
What is that? What was that, like 20-10? Is that what we constitute a blowout for the Giants now?
32-13. That's a pretty big blowout.
That's not bad.
For your information.
Yeah, it's a preseason game.
Yeah, I know.
Corey Ballantyne, 3 touchdown passes. I don't know how. Then he disappears.
What are you on about? Washington last year, we blew them out twice. Oh, no. One of them was close. We blew them out, though, in week 4, 24-3. I was there, actually. I was at that game.
Do we even count Washington, though? Do we even count Washington as a game anymore?
And we also kind of blew out Miami in Eli's last start, 36-20. Remember?
I hate playing Washington.
Blew them out.
I hate playing Washington.
I like playing Washington every time we play.
they're an automatic win, but every time we get super optimistic and then we get our hearts broken the next week.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we don't get our hearts broken this week.
It's like going on a great date and then the girl never texting you. That's what it feels like every week.
Speaking from experience here.
Nah.
You got some PTSD. 2018, we also blew out Washington 40-16. My God.
Yeah.
We only blow out Washington. Everything else has been very close.
Yeah. Washington's our
We haven't won a lot of games.
It's our sanity game. That's really what it is. Washington's our sanity game. It's like it brings us back to life a little bit. And then we're like, oh, just until we play them again next year. Anyway, we got 5 minutes left until the game starts. So we're gonna wrap it up with our game time score predictions. What do you think, Anthony?
Everybody in the chat, score predictions.
Score predictions.
Okay. Do you want my Giants fan optimism, or do you want my realist, very sad and scared about this game prediction? Which one?
Both. You gotta get both.
All right. My very sad and realistic is like a 30-10 loss, somewhere around there, or 30-20 loss, not a 10-point loss. I think we get 20 points. But my optimistic one is a Graham Gano kicks the game-winning field goal, and we win like 27-24, something like that. Graham Gano, the MVP of the season, is going to boot that thing right down the middle.
Okay, all right. I could see that. Okay, I guess I'll do the same. My realistic tequila time score is 28-21 Eagles. My extremely optimistic Giants win always score, no matter who they're playing, be the Chiefs, is 24-17. 24-17.
Okay. All right, I like that.
Someone's gonna have an interception though. Who's getting the pick? Is Isaac Udome gonna get the pick today?
Somebody in the chat said James Bradbury pick 6 today.
That's always okay. That's a little optimistic, but I say James Bradbury getting interceptions like a pretty decent probability on any given week.
I'm gonna say Julian Love. Julian Love gets a pick. He almost had one last time we played Philadelphia. Jumped a route, almost had it.
Julian Love.
Yeah, remember last time when they were in the red zone, he came down from that safety position, jumped around.
Oh yeah,
broke it up. He almost had a pick. So I think he gets one. I think he's gonna get one.
That would be cool. I would like that.
It's Wentz. He's gonna throw a couple picks.
We'll see, guys. Yeah, I mean, that's all we can hope for. But
Wentz is garbage. Most overrated quarterback in the league. Let's go Giants. Let's go Giants.
Yeah, you heard it.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm super hyped. So we got 3 minutes. Giants versus Eagles, man. This is what we hope for every year. This is the second game. This is a must-win game for the Giants. NFC East is on the line. Playoff implications. I'm hyped. I got my Saquon jersey on, the color rush, just because I want to say it's good luck. I'm not sure. Anthony hasn't watched his jersey in 10 years.
I haven't watched this. I haven't watched it.
Hasn't watched it in one. It's when he watched it he wore it for 3 hours last week. I don't think it even needs washing yet. We're not at that level where it's like, oh, this is kind of nasty. It's still pretty fresh. So hopefully they make you keep the tradition alive. Don't wash that freaking jersey, sir.
If we win, I'm not going to wash it. And you know what? During the bye week next week, I might just go run some laps in it, get it really nice and sweaty and gross.
Disgusting.
Make it smell, and then wear it the next week. Because you got to smell like an animal to play like an animal, baby. Let's go Giants. We're going to get a clutch win today and get right back in this playoff race.
I think those Busch Lights are getting to your head, Anthony.
I didn't drink any Busch Lights today, man.
All right, my friends. Thank you guys for tuning in again on our live stream and hanging out. Always love to see the chat live and awake and putting out some action.
Yes, sir.
So let's go Giants. Let's get this win, and we'll talk to you guys later on in the week. Keep an eye out for our podcast on Monday or Tuesday. It'll be out, and obviously articles on the website throughout the week. And our film breakdown we'll get your guys' input on Twitter, and we'll figure out who we're going to do the breakdown of again this week. It could be Austin Mack again. There's a bunch of different players. We'll pick one that really looks the best. And maybe we'll bring in a specialist to help us break it down for you guys and make it a little bit more interesting.